The catalytic converter is part of your motorcycle's exhaust system and is mainly responsible for cleaning up the exhaust gases before they're released into the atmosphere. And in most countries in the world, they're required by law. So don't remove or bypass it. But if you do want to do it, I'll show you how on this episode of Easy's Garage. So the catalytic converter is a honeycomb-like structure that sits inside your exhaust. It's coated with some precious metals that helps catalyze chemical reactions like converting carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide, as well as burning off some of the unburnt petrol in your exhaust before it's released into the atmosphere. So it's generally good for the environment, and there's very little reason to remove it. One of the few reasons is to reduce the heat because it does build up some heat. It does trap some heat, so having the catalytic converter on can cause your bike to run a little hot or your exhaust to run a little hot. But for most bikes, it's kind of under the bike, so you won't feel that heat much. And actually, the only reason I want to remove it is because the exhaust note just sounds a little nicer. It sounds a little deeper. So after removing it, I'll give you guys a listen to what the exhaust sounds like. But those are the only kind of reasons to remove it. They're not really important reasons, so I would suggest don't remove it. But I'm gonna do it on my bike. Usually, I've seen the catalytic converter sit inside the head pipe. Uh, so it's integrated into the head pipe, and that's kind of tricky to remove because you got to cut open the pipe, take out the honeycomb structure, the catalytic converter, and then weld the pipe back. So that's irreversible, but that's cheap. The other option is to replace the entire head pipe with an aftermarket one that doesn't have a catalytic converter. That's expensive. And in bikes like the Himalayan, the catalytic converter is actually part of the mid pipe, so it's not in the head pipe. It's part of the mid pipe before the slip on. So this is quite easy to replace. Just get an aftermarket mid pipe that doesn't have a catalytic converter. So it's a one-to-one replacement. It's also reversible. So if you ever want to go back, you can just put the catalytic converter back in. And this is quite cheap because a mid pipe is just a small piece of pipe, right? So this is usually a cheap option. So this is the catalytic converter on the Himalayan. It's quite massive and quite heavy. So that's another reason to take it out, but it's not a big enough reason again. It just reduce some weight. So I think it's about 4 or 5 kilos. So you're going to reduce a lot of weight. So I'm just going to be removing this and replacing it with an aftermarket mid pipe. Here it is. So this is much smaller. I think this is AEW, the brand. I don't know. I've never heard of it before, but one of my friends has it. And actually, I know a few people who have it installed, and it runs pretty good, and the exhaust note does sound quite nice. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So the catalytic converter is attached to the head pipe with a clamp holding it in place, and there's a fastener for it. This is a 12 fastener. There's a 12 nut on the other side. So we got to loosen this clamp so we can detach the catalytic converter from the head pipe. And it's also attached to the slip-on, again with another clamp right here. And again, this is a 12 nut fastener and a 12 nut on the other side. So we got to loosen this clamp so we can detach the slip-on from the catalytic converter. Okay, so grab your 12 socket, or you can have a spanner as well. Another 12 spanner to hold the nut that's on the backside. And let's go ahead and loosen this. Again, we don't need to remove it completely. We just need to loosen it. And the same for this one here. Okay, loose enough. Now let's remove the slip-on from the catalytic converter. So we've already loosened that clamp, but we need to remove this fastener that's holding the slip-on to the frame of the bike. So again, this is a 12 fastener, and there's a 12 nut. Okay, so save this fastener and nut, and don't lose this little grommet thing that goes inside this hole. So I'm just going to leave it in here, but don't lose it. And now we should just be able to pull the slip-on out. There you go. So let me just show you. This is the clamp, and this is the fastener and the nut that we loosened to loosen this clamp. The catalytic converter on the Himalayan is attached to the frame at two locations. On the right side of the bike, where I am right now, just behind this heel guard, you can see this 12 fastener here, and there's a 12 nut on the other side of this fastener. So that's attached to the frame. So we're gonna have to undo this. And on the left side of the bike, again, same thing. This is, you see that nut, and there's a fastener that's holding this catalytic converter, which is this whole rusty or this dirty thing, to the frame. So we're gonna have to undo this as well. So I think I'm just gonna move this entire right side out of the way, the foot peg, the brake pedal, this entire unit. They're only held together with three fasteners, one here, and then one here. I believe they're 6 mm. So grab your 6 mm hex bits and let's go ahead and remove these. There you go. You can just move this out of the way. Okay, so I've just placed a jack. You can place any object just to let this whole right unit rest on it. Otherwise, this entire thing will be hanging by the brake lines, which is not necessarily the best thing. So just let it rest on something. And now we have easy access to this fastener. So here you go. That's your fastener that we're going to have to undo with this thing out of the way. So grab your 12 mm socket with an extension, and then another 12 mm spanner to hold the nut on the other side of the fastener, and we can undo this. There you go. Pull the fastener out. I believe there's some grommets here. I'll know for sure once I take this out, but try not to lose anything. So now let's undo the fastener on the left side of the bike. To remove the fastener on the left side, you just need two 12 mm spanners, so regular spanners. So as you see, I've already placed them. I put them in place. One's holding the nut uh, at the rear of the fastener, and another 12 mm spanner here is gonna undo the fastener itself. So it's a bit of a squeeze, but two 12 mm spanners will get the job done. So let me go ahead and um, loose or undo this fastener completely. Okay, so that took some time and effort, but I managed to get it done. So you can see the cat box has been dislodged from the mount on the frame. I managed to get the nut out. The screw, the fastener is still stuck in this little frame hole. I couldn't get it out because the swing arm is blocking it from, is preventing it from coming out. So I think I'm gonna have to put the bike bike's weight on the rear wheel so the swing arm lifts up a little, and I can poke that fastener out and it's not blocked by the swing arm here. But I can do that later. I've already dislodged the catalytic converter from the mount, so we are ready to now remove the catalytic converter. So let's try to wiggle this out from the head pipe, and there you go. Okay, it's time to install the new mid pipe. This is a bracket that comes with the mid pipe, the new mid pipe. This attaches to the frame of the bike, this part here. So we're gonna reuse the, I guess these are called grommets. That's that were already in the cat. This one um, goes into this hole, and then the other grommet from this side goes into the same hole from the other side, and then this we're gonna attach to the frame with the screw and the nut that was holding the cat in place. We're gonna reuse this screw and nut, and the mounting point of that is obviously right here where we removed the cat from. So let me go ahead and just finger thread this fastener and this bracket in place. I'm not going to torque it up just yet. Put the little bracket in, and I reuse the screw and the grommets. It's not torqued up, so you can see it's still pretty loose. And once we put the mid pipe in, we'll attach the mid pipe to this bracket, and then we'll torque everything up. Okay, so here's the mid pipe. We're ready to install this. If need be, get a mallet to bang it gently into place. I've also loosely threaded in this fastener here to hold the mid pipe to the bracket. And now let's install the slip on. Again, I haven't tightened any screws yet, so I've got my slip on here. Okay, I can't see that well. I don't want to break anything, so I'm just going to remove the shield. It's going to be pretty easy, just 4 millimeter fasteners, two of them. Okay, much better. I removed the heat shield. Here it is with the two fasteners. Okay, so with the slip on roughly in place, go ahead and take the original fastener and the nut that is holding the slip on to the frame, and let's put this screw and nut back in, and again, let's finger tight it. Now let's just kind of wiggle everything, the mid pipe, the slip on, the bracket, and let's tighten up all the bolts. So now it's time to torque everything up. So grab your torque wrench, set it to, we're going to first torque up the slip onto the frame, as well as the mid pipe bracket to the frame. Again, grab your torque wrench, 12 millimeter socket, and set it to 25 newton meters or 18 and a half foot pounds. Okay, let's fix the right side control plate that we had taken out earlier to make room to get the fasteners behind it out. I already put the three 6 mm fasteners into position. Now let's torque them up. Grab your 6 millimeter hex bit, your torque wrench. Let's torque them up, all three of them, to 20 newton meters or about 15 foot pounds. Okay, so this right side has been torqued up. Let's torque up the clamp for the slip on. Grab your 12 mm socket again, 24 foot pounds or 32 newton meters. So this is the clamp, a fastener for the mid pipe where it connects to the header. I didn't get any torque specs. The fastener is not very big either, so I just kind of uh, tightened it as much as I thought is needed. Okay, and just don't forget to put the heat shield back on, the two 4 mm fasteners that we took out. The torque spec is very small, 4 to 7 newton meters. I'm not going to use a torque wrench. I'm just going to use a regular T-handle, and I'm not going to over tighten it, just a little bit. Okay, and one final thing that we should not forget is, yeah, remember when we took out the nut from here holding the catalytic converter to the frame? The fastener couldn't come out because the swing arm's blocking it. So I'm gonna put the bike on its, I'm gonna remove it from the center stand, put some weight on the bike, and then hopefully I should be able to take out the fastener from there. Okay, and let's hear what it sounds like. I thought it sounded pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna go for a test right now. But if you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button. Again, I don't recommend you guys remove your catalytic converter, but if you really, really, really want to, then this is how you do it. Alright guys, it's your boy Eazy, signing out. Until next time.